Hi, welcome to another edition of Fail Win, and I hope you're doing really well today. This is Solomon Phoenix here in West London, and today we're just going to quickly talk about the power of being consistent in your message. And what do I mean by being consistent in your message? Well, let me tell you a story. We have two lawyers here. The first lawyer is an incredible lawyer. He's got hundreds of clients, and due to the sheer volume of his workload, he can only see certain clients, right? Because there's only a certain amount of hours that you can work in a day and all that kind of stuff. So he can only see certain amounts of clients. Why has he got such a large client base? Well, because he has credibility. He's respected, and he's built up his reputation. He is a constant producer, and he has the status of a center of influence. Okay, so he can now pick and choose who he's going to work with, when he's going to work with them, and more importantly, he can now decide. He can actually now decide how much he can charge those people. He's got a huge client base. You can't see all of them, right? So he will choose who he wants to work with, and he can actually raise the price, okay? Because he has that credibility. Now, lawyer number two, he doesn't have that credibility. Lawyer number two has one client, and he spends all day, all night with that one particular client because he's not a producer, okay? He hasn't yet learnt the ability of having a consistent message, right? Okay, he hasn't earned that status of power that lawyer number one has because he just doesn't have that client base. So the point I'm trying to make here is the reason that you need to be consistent in your message is to build your business. For you to have success in your online business, you need to be A, consistent in your message, and B, you need to be a producer. You need to write business. You need to be adding people to your business. You need to have members joining your business daily, okay? Daily, okay? So once you start producing numbers, so if you start adding one member or two members to your business daily, and you really want to be producing like two new members a day to your business, what happens is automatically you actually position yourself to be a person that people want to work with because they see that you're producing, okay? And where they're not producing, they want to seek you out and they want to get advice from you. They want to work with you because they see you as a god. They see you as someone that is producing day in and day out. This is why it's really important to be very, very consistent in your message, right? I have a friend, and my friend, he's in the online world, and he has I'm sure he's somewhat successful in what he does in his business. Okay. The funny thing is though, is that this particular guy, I swear, it's like every 3 weeks he's promoting a new company, he's promoting a new deal, right? Now, I want you to imagine for a second, okay, that you've been recruited by this particular person, okay, and he's constantly changing the message. Every 3 weeks, he's giving you a new modality. He's giving you a new structure for you to work with every 3 weeks or so, okay? Now, it might not sound like a big thing to you, but it's a really big thing because, if you're a new person and you're working with somebody and you haven't got a clue about how to replicate, a business and to be successful, do you think it would be helpful for that person that's introduced you to a business to be changing the message every 3 weeks? Really? Do you think that? No, of course not. Because what you want is a consistent message, because the mind needs to have a structure, for it to be able to operate. So if you have somebody that is constantly changing the modality of the way that, and especially if it's your sponsor that's giving you advice on different modalities and structures on the way to work your business, then it's going to become very, very confusing. Okay, so let me ask you a question. If you see somebody that's constantly promoting different businesses, okay, every 3 weeks, and they're changing their modality every 3 weeks, okay, do you think that they're a real producer? Do you honestly believe that they're producing the numbers that they're talking about? No. The likelihood is that that person is not really producing anything, because if you're not consistent in the message, then how are you able to build your business? It's near enough impossible. It'll be very improbable for somebody to be building an organization on a message that's constantly changing, right? Okay, so let's go back to the lawyer. The question is, who are you going to work with? You're going to work with somebody that A, has a consistent message, and B, that's always constantly producing, right? So if you have somebody that's constantly producing, you're automatically going to seek them out, and you want to work with them. You want to know the secrets and the mysteries that they know that you don't know, so that you can apply it to your business, right? Okay? And the great thing is, it's not even a great thing, but think about it, right? Those guys that are producers, that are the center of influence, that have what you want, they're in a stronger position. What that means is that they have an expectation for the people that they are now working with, okay? So they're going to have a criteria. So, if you don't meet the criteria, they're not going to want to work with you, right? Okay? Because you are falling short of the expectations that requires you to qualify for the time. Okay. Whereas if you are, if we go back to the analogy that I was using with lawyer number 2, well, of course he'll take your business. There'll be no criteria, because right now he needs every client that he can get, so that he can actually earn a decent living, right? Whereas lawyer number 1, he's got so many clients, he now needs to leverage his time. You have to, come on, guys. He's going to have a strict criteria for him to even allow his secretary or his personal PA to even set an appointment for him to come and even speak with you, even if it's face-to-face, right? You have to meet those criteria. And, if you want to be in that position, then your message needs to be consistent, okay? You need to be focused, and you need to be producing every single day. Now, production is production, okay? But the bottom line is, no business would survive, okay, if they're not producing. Certainly if they're not producing in this climate, or at the very least if they're not producing on a day in, day out basis. You need to be producing, and you need to be focusing. Now, once you've got that focus and you've got that production levels up, then the credibility automatically comes, right? Because if you're making $1,000 a day or $6,000 a day, then people are going to automatically seek you out. But how do you get to that level? Well, you get to that level by producing. You get to that level by having a consistent message. So, guys, I just wanted to share that with you. That's about it, really. I'm going to be heading to Malaysia. My services are required down there in Southeast Asia, so I'm kind of getting ready in the next couple of days to fly down there and to have some fun and to replicate what I'm doing over here. So take care of yourself and each other.